There is a reason why we represent mutable state in Compose using remembered snapshot state. If we just used a regular variable, there would be two problems causing it to always display the same initial value. The first issue is related to recomposition. Even though I actually change this local variable, these changes won't be displayed because I never trigger recomposition of this scope, so UI still displays past value. As you can see, when I change this variable, the value still remains 0, and recomposition counter that I added isn't growing. The way to trigger recomposition with state change is by using a snapshot state, like mutable state of or mutable int state of. Snapshot state in Compose have this special property that whenever we modify it, all the observers, all the scopes that read this state, here for instance we read this state, so the recomposition scope that reads this counter, which is this scope, will have recomposition triggered. So right now when I click the button, my recomposition counter increments. But as you can see, I can still see value 0. Why is that? Because even though I do recompose this scope, every time I recompose it, I literally call it, and when I call it, I create new instance of snapshot state with initial value 0. So with every recomposition, new value, new variable, new snapshot state is created, and it is always created with value 0. So it doesn't matter what I do, the value is still 0. To solve this issue, we should remember this value. Remember with either remember block or remember savable, retain, depending on how persistent do we want this state to be. Thanks to this remember block, when we trigger a recomposition of the definition scope of this remember block as a cache makes sure that previously defined value will be used. So only the first time we call remember, we create a snapshot state. During recompositions later for this component, the previous snapshot state reference is taken from cache, and that's why previous changes are visible. So I can finally increment and decrement this value. Everything works as it should. Sooner or later, all state in Compose uses a snapshot state that is remembered. That doesn't mean if you collect as safe with a lifecycle, or if you transform, observe something in any other way. All those functions under the hood create some form of snapshot state and remember them to persist recomposition.
This video was made for the Advanced Compose cohort course, where we dive deep into how Compose works and how to use it to make efficient, scalable, and maintainable applications. Details about the next edition can be found on the advancedcompose.com website. I hope to see you there.